stage at the round table. We are all very excited to hear about the outcome of each of the discussions. Therefore, I would like to invite the moderators of the round tables, Dr. Christine Falkengroßer, Dr. Shayud Adisaigun, Dr. Pansak Sirirachataprong, Martin Wensky-Starling, and Dr. Punsak Kosiapon to come to the stage. Dr. Kanchana Vani-Chakon, Assistant Secretary General of the National Science, Technology and Innovation Policy Office, and Mr. Tiratat Itzeran-Kun Naayutaya, Industry Warning Expert in the Office of Industrial Economics, will facilitate this conclusive panel on the stage. Please join.
Afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the room for the wrap up this afternoon. How do you feel? I feel very intense after we passed through the whole afternoon with super brainstorm about each topic, which is quite intense for me. But I think it's very useful for us, and I'm very excited to hear from all of the moderators. What do you feel, Dr. Kanchana?
I'm very excited to hear. I participated in the first roundtable. A lot of good ideas, and we'd like to hear other rooms. And we see how we're going to conclude and put all the 5 rooms inputs together, right? We're going to do live here on stage, right? So you told us that we only have a half an hour.
Quite short.
Unless the audience would like to stick with us longer. So let's try to stick with half an hour. I know Germantown, it's half an hour, could be like anyway, I'll start with let's go one by one. We are from the first round. If you could stick with 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, Christina, please.
I'm happy to.
Do you want to use actually we have the infographic with us? Maybe later? Okay, we'll show that later. After we hear that, before you start, we discussed a lot about how do we make this Industry 4.0 inclusive, right? Easy to understand. And we come up with this idea of we should bring in the artists and let them blend in with us on the discussion and give them the freedom, draw something. And we'll see what would happen after this. Okay, so please, Christine.
Let's see. I will just throw in a few words, and then we can discuss a little bit later. Our task in our group was to see a little bit to it. What is the toolbox that we can use to implement Industry 4.0 through the government, through the private sector, and what can we use to facilitate? What can we do to improve the framework for the companies? And I think one point that it always boiled down to in the whole almost 2 hours that we had was communication, to establish a dialogue between private sector and government sector. And the question came up several times: what does industry need? Do we know what industry needs? Does industry know what industry needs? And how can we communicate, especially with the SMEs, especially out of the framework of Bangkok, going out into the field, and how can we put this together? And then the communication between the governments. And because also in Germany, we learned today that several governments are involved, of course, in putting together the framework for Industry 4.0, and the same is true for Thailand. So what can we do? And then we came to something that we discussed in the morning already, the platform 4.0. We learned that the government is in Germany financing the office for the platform 4.0 to organize the platform, but all the content and the initiatives come from the companies. So the companies donate the time of their experts, and they come together at the platform, and then they discuss. So I think this is really one of the most important things that we discuss, and we touched upon many other issues too, but maybe we can come back to that in the discussion later.
Yes. Next, I would like to invite Dr. Chayo Trang Adisai Kun to present the idea from the RT2. I am one of the crew in his board, in his room, so it's quite exciting to know that.
Okay,
Please.
thank you. So our roundtable started with talking about the enabling factor for the success of the Industry 4.0, and it didn't take a long time to pinpoint the issue of education, the capability of workforce at all level, not just labor but also engineering level. And so we conclude that for this reason the formal education system should be looked at, and in terms of the quality. And one of the interesting things that has been raised up during this session is the importance of English language, because I think a lot of knowledge that is out there for the Industry 4.0 is in English, right? And the ability of the understanding of English is quite important to enable ones to self-learn about this technology, either on the internet or even demonstration on YouTube. I think that would be very helpful if we can improve our English proficiency. And we don't have enough English teachers. One of the delegates in this session mentioned from his experience in Thailand for a long time, and it should be encouraged to have enough. And practical engineers is another issue that we talked about. How to retrain the one who already finished school, how to retrain the ones who are already working, to have them to give them the capability of initiating Industry 4.0 in the organization. The needs for young generation to focus on basic research also, not just applications only. This would be something that would allow sustainable development on this industrial technology. And the last thing about this is the concept of Industry 4.0. It's not about getting rid of labor, because that would be a non-starter if you talk about getting rid of labor and replacing them with technology. It might be very sensitive and you will not have a cooperation needed. Therefore, instead of going that route, we should start by saying that this technology can increase productivity to begin with, and flexibility in the production line, as well as the quality of the product at the end. So when we have these goals in mind of the ones involved, everyone will not think about losing job, but to improve the production in order to add more value to their work, and that would be sustainable and should be able to help start the initiative. And this is pretty much about the concept that we have come to the conclusion. But the other part of this roundtable is to find an actionable items, right? Do you want me to talk about the actionable items?
Please.
Yes, page number 2. Page 2 on the slide. For the actionable item, the one on the top, the one at the top on the list is so-called practical showcase. Many of the delegates in the room feel that there must be some showcase to show the practical operation of Industry 4.0 technology, because now we are just only do the talking, right? We do the theoretical part, we do the seminars, but no one really see Industry 4.0 in action. And that would be a very good thing to have. So we suggest that the government should fund, okay, coming back to the government, in conjunction with the business itself, as well as the technological company, perhaps in this case from Germany, should also contribute to this practical showcase initiatives. And when we have the technical showcase with the government funding, so it's conditioned that the other businesses, either they can be the competitors directly or indirectly, should be able to have a look at this showcase in the business premise. In this way, one can see things in action. And I think this has been implemented successfully in Germany, so why not thinking about it in Thailand? Secondly, vocational education. We think that the real workforce of Industry 4.0 is not only the high engineering level, but also people who gets their hand dirty on the line. So vocational training should be repositioned to be able to implement and know about the Industry 4.0 technology. And basing on the German experience, you have a long training program in the business or the plant, right, before you graduate. We do have something like this in Thailand, but it's a short term. It's just one semester only, just a few months. And this is not enough according to our conclusion. We should have something like 6 months time for this purpose, so that the students can be having enough opportunity to learn firsthand. Okay, and lastly, the need for further meetings has been raised up. Meetings like this, particularly the roundtable ones, should be continuing. Yes, and I promise in my roundtable that I will bring this up during this session so that we can do it in parallel with the other roundtables. Thank you.
You see, we got a lot of fun from the roundtable. In my room, we request for more next time. Okay, next I would like to invite Dr. Pansak Sri Ratchatapong from room number 3 about digitalization in non-manufacturing. Right?
Thank you very much. In my room, it's quite very interesting and effective. We have about 25 participants discuss very actively. We focus on the topic digitization of non-manufacturing industry. What does it mean? Maybe it means something like the digital transformation, everything except manufacturing. So that this is quite a wide area. We just keep a focus on, we call the medical sector. So in our room, we have a good participants in this area, like a doctor, the researcher, the private sector in this sector. We start discussion firstly with sharing the basic information of Thai and German. And someone said that, okay, Thailand's problem is quite the same as German problems. So don't worry, we are the same problem. So we can do something and make it better. The first keyword, the key issue that we raised is we need we call a standard. Standard is not a normal one, a standard in this area, especially for the medical data, medical device. Especially the standard to enhance the cyber security. This is a current issue that everyone knows already. That in Great Britain about the ransomware WannaCry, for example. So our expert tried to mention that we need to focus on the standard data, medical device. Maybe we need a pool of specialists try to work together. The second key issue that we discussed is our participant raised the issue about the pharmaceutical industry, especially in Thailand. He mentioned that maybe it's quite a good opportunity to do many things like the medical discovery, clinical trial, or whatever. So this pharmaceutical maybe we can do something together. And the third issue that this issue maybe we focus on to improve the management efficiency, reduce the cost, reduce the risk, everything. And the professor from Mahidol just raised the issue we call e-logistics. E-logistics is not only the try to transfer the physical thing, but including the we call the patient that maybe we can discuss further about the collaboration in this area. And the last one is also maybe we can use the digitization to improve in terms of the information, medical information awareness, try to promote some kind of the awareness of the prevention more than go to the hospital, for example. That's the key issue that we discussed. And for the last issue that as the moderator tried to provide the KPI to the meeting, I am happy to be moderator. And during the 2 hours, there are no vacuum. Someone should talk something. That is my job to do. Try to do that. The program, the potential collaboration, we mentioned about the roadmap of medical industry in Thailand related to IT topics, software standard, or data scientists, for example. Another program that we think should be relevant is the medical device for aging society. Thailand is already an aging society, maybe in Chairman 2 things should be. So we can exchange or we can do something together. And the third one is quite I think it's quite possible because our friend from German and Thai exchange some kind of name card and discuss after I closed the meeting. We call the professor exchange include the academic project exchange. That's can some kind of move our country close together and by sharing good information. It's not. I think it's not. Since it is academic exchange, so it's not as serious like the industry or the private sector's projects. And the last one that someone tried to raise against is some kind of medical education. This focus should be tried to use the new digital technique to improve how we can improve the medical education to more effective, for example. This is the result from my roundtable discussion. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, I'd like to invite Dr. Martin from Chiang Mai University.
Also just Martin.
It sounds like a product.
But it's okay. I said it about 5 times, so I think someone please give him a PhD. Okay, so we had a we had a very lively 2 hours, and I was really encouraged to see that the discussions continued into the coffee break between the participants in our panel. We didn't have so many Germans, but all the Germans that were around were engaged in further discussions during the coffee break. So that was good to see for collaboration. When we designed the roundtable number 4, we purposely put together agriculture and food processing because we wanted to not only talk about what is it's a manufacturing, it's a food product, but it's a manufacturing process. But we felt it really needs to be linked to where it all comes from, to the farms and the smaller suppliers. So we had a very diverse group of academics, logistic companies, retailers, food processors, people working with farmers, researchers, and so. So I think we had a really good cross-section. And we did have some things that don't fit it directly into the theme that evolved, which really has to do with quality and food safety. But we also talked about adding more value, creating new products, maybe through new ingredients, and so forth. And the newly established Food Innopolis is spearheading several initiatives in that area to innovate on food products, manufacturing process, food safety standards. But really, and we also try to avoid a little bit overlapping too much with the other panels. So we didn't go so much into workforce issues because we knew that they would be covered in Roundtable 5, but it was definitely a big area. And it was good to hear from the other panelists that many of the issues are connected. When you mentioned aging society, I don't know if people know that, but the average age of a farmer is 60. So we also have aging society very much being an issue in the farming sector. And we also talked about policy tools to incentivize and also provide the right framework conditions for maybe new ways of working together to happen. And Mr. Axel from the German embassy talked about how cooperatives in Germany work together with government in some interesting example. I think we should put some information on that on the website after today. Maybe Axel, you can extract some good links and we can share that, because what Germany talks about in terms of a cooperative is quite different to what a cooperative is in Thailand. So, which is very large, like 100 farmers to form a cooperative, whereas in Germany it could be much less. But they are really supported and engaged by the many government agencies. So that seemed to be a good example. Why do we put the farmer and the smaller suppliers so much into focus? Because I validated this hypothesis, but I was told by people working in that sector that if you don't really tackle food safety, don't talk about innovation, don't talk about new technologies. What is the point of new products if the product isn't safe, and not just safe for the EU? We're not just talking from a German perspective or an international perspective. We're also talking about the Thai consumer and people here in Thailand eating unsafe food. Now, maybe there are tighter standards in Europe, and we need to understand them and work with them for export opportunities. But it's also an issue for Thai consumers. But if the benefits from changing to greater food safety standards, new farming practices, or production processes, if the benefits from that are not more evenly distributed, really putting the farmer into and one comment I got on our chart was we need to make the farmer a lot bigger in the visual graphic that we had. So we had a small farmer, 1 or 2 in the graphics for Roundtable 4, but the farmer is really key. And the farmer is getting very little at the moment out of Thailand's very large food industry, top exporter of food products, but very small farmland, very small farm plots. So, and very little benefits going from the value added created to the farmer. So how can you expect the farmer to change if this land holding is very small, he doesn't make much money, he's getting older, he's not familiar with new technology. So really, we were discussing, we need to look at it as a whole supply or value chain, and the retailers and the food processors are critical to changing things at the farm level. So it's almost like before we move into technologies and ICT, which is often discussed about in this context, we need to go back to some basics. Of course, there are also huge opportunities if we can change the way the value chain works, if we can make certain institutional changes for massive productivity enhancement at the farm level by working together, more farmers working together, sharing machinery, knowing more what inputs to correctly use fertilizers, pesticides, may not be totally wrong, but use them correctly and know how to use them correctly and have the tools to do that. So that was another area. Automation, we felt the food processors, they are in general, often apart from the big ones, are the low-tech manufacturing sector in Thailand. Hence, the opportunities for becoming more productive should also be significant at the food processing level. But we had an interesting input that it's not just about automation and becoming more efficient per se, but also about becoming more sustainable. So the concept of bioeconomy was introduced into the discussion on how we could reduce waste, be more inefficient. So maybe we can catch two flies in one go by being more efficient, but also making farming and production more environmentally sustainable. We had a few action points, and actually as we ran out of time, more kind of popped up. But so what people wanted to cooperate and focus on action points, particularly between Germany and Thailand, action points as cooperation opportunities. And a request was made to perhaps set up a joint task force to really look end to end from the farm to the supermarket in Germany on food safety and awareness and capacity development to sort out this issue and really drive that awareness and understanding through the whole value chain. Related to that, on a more technical technology side, was a request to perhaps cooperate more on metrology, which is kind of like measurement of how different measurements for food safety. But one comment was made from the German side during the break was we need to be specific about what food safety standards and what testing equipment, what type of tests we're talking about. Move away from generalization. That sounds to me like there's a need to be more specific before that collaboration can really drive good results. I already mentioned that it's good experience on the bioeconomy and sustainability, linking that. And sensoring and automation, remote sensing, there is also, was from the Thai side, was perceived to be good experience, expertise in Germany to bring that over to Thailand. So that's kind of R&D, but also translational kind of cooperation to bring that into the farm and the interface between farm and food producer. I think it's probably enough for, I've got a few more, but in the interest of time, that's probably a good sort of introduction of the discussion. I'll pass on back to the MC. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ครับ คุณ Martin. Next will be, I would like to invite Dr. Poonsak Gosiyaporn, please, for human resources, right? For
yes,
this room.
Workforce.
Workforce, yes, 4.0.
In this roundtable, number 5, we can discuss about the workforce 4.0 to the, it's only the limit of time, 2 hours. We cannot discuss it. We can discuss about workforce for a whole day and whole night. You see, in the morning, we can see workforce is a victim of the topic of today. And anyway, in this discussion, we have so many key issues. For example, we have the problem of the dual track for the education and the private company, like vocational education based on dual track. Actually, some company and university and vocational education already start the initiative program for establishing the public-private partnership in terms of work integrated learning and dual track already, but not all people understand that much, and not many participants in terms of the number of the company, not so much in the mass. And the second issue is about the cooperation and on the public-private partnership. In this case, so many industrial request collaboration between the university and the industry itself in order to create the next generation, young generation of the workforce. Therefore, the collaboration need to be strengthened. Without that, university could not understand how to adapt the experience from the manufacturing or the private sector and change the curriculum and training scheme. And the next thing is about the competency-based training. And people complain much about the competency of the current student, graduate student. They could not satisfy the requirement from the company. And through that, so they proposed the issue about the competency. We need to somehow create some competency-based training in order to improve the capability of the student, the graduate one. And the next one is about the teacher. We focus much more about the dual track, DVT, dual vocational training, right? But we forget about the teacher. Teacher is a key issue. They couldn't have the experience from the factory or manufacturing at the beginning, so they cannot transfer their experience to the student. Therefore, we need to maybe create some kind of the dual vocational training for the teacher or train the trainer. And the last thing is about the incentive or career path of the vocational graduates. You can see that this is not only the issue that we have. We can talk about this and more coming. Anyway, we at the last 3 minutes of the conversation, we can come up with this potential cooperation. I would like to raise the first one as the fourth on the slide. This is the early and the childhood education. Why I raise this one as the first one? Because it's the root cause of the problem. Without having the high quality education for the childhood, we cannot get the workforce or even the high quality graduate student at all, or even in the high qualified professional in the company. Therefore, we need to think about the long-term development for the early childhood. And therefore, we need the responsibility from the MOE and MOST, or Ministry of Science, Technology, Ministry of Education. And the second one would be the STEM workforce. And in this case, we need to maybe elaborate the workforce in the current market. And in this case, we have Ministry of Labor, TTI, STI can be work together in order to create the platform to improve the productivity of the workforce based on the STEM training. And the next one is a train the trainer program. And like I said, one of the root causes is about the teacher. Why don't we just do something about the training of the teacher? In this program, it is tell you the truth. All of this program is not already is not starting from zero. We already have all this kind of program, but we need to maybe implement more and more in order to get the public-private partnership having the strengthened scheme. And the train the trainer is one of the things. Maybe KMU TNB already start with the GTCC, not GTTC, right? German-Thai Chamber of Commerce, and already start the program to improve the competency of the teacher or the trainer, even for the trainer in the company or the Meister one. And in this case, we may also invite the training center like TGI or some other companies together in order to improve the or scaling up this kind of program. Maybe Minister of Education and Office of Higher Education Commission could participate in this program as well. And another one is the key issue for the current situation in the market. You see that without having the high quality training center, we cannot improve the productivity of the workforce at all. You cannot rely on the training in the university or the education itself. We need to, like the policy from around the world, that they create some kind of the public-private partnership or the private company training center. Therefore, we need to promote this kind of program. In this program, we already have TGI as a pioneer, but we may think about the next generation of the training. Instead of training only the skill set from the old traditional one like CNC and on simple or the past required training program. We can think about the future like IoT, robotics, or some more advanced technology for the workforce. Lastly, we can have like sentiments talk about the platform that we can gather together and talk about how to improve or implement something later on. So therefore, we come up with the public-private partnership policy platform like URL incentive. Why we need that? Last year, I attended some symposium, maybe German-Thai symposium. I heard about the dual training for the big firm like Mercedes-Benz or BKIM and so on. But I heard some lady, not young lady, old lady, from German lady. She worked in the northern area of Thailand, and she working in the small SME, and she asked why she just couldn't she apply this kind of program to her business, but no one answered that. This is the example what we need to implement more and more program to support more people that require this kind of partnership. Therefore, we need to maybe gather people that, for example, the German companies, Ministry of Science and Tech, Ministry of Industry, or other people else that already have some kind of incentive. So we can start for the next project based on the current incentive we have. Then we can expand the community in order to support the SME or the large firm. Therefore, the company and the university, education, and the government sector can understand each other and apply the current platform we have. So we need the number 5 cooperation, the potential one. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, now Kunthiratat, it's our job to connect all these dots.
Yes.
But before, I would like to open up the floor for our audience. If you want to add anything, any points that your moderators missed in your room, or if you have additional comments on other issues, maybe you want to join like 2 rooms in all 5 rooms, but you didn't get a chance to because you have to go to one. You can add more comments. So I would like to open up the floor for maybe like 2 or 3 comments.
First of all, we may take my map up here.
Have the
already
map.
finished already.
Okay,
Yeah?
so bring it up.
Okay.
And tell me, what do you see first thing? Pop up from the picture. We'll do that right first thing. Okay. Please bring up the mind map.
Yeah.
Or how do we do that? We use the camera to.
Haven't finished
Okay,
yet. Just bring it here. Bring it here.
One by one.
One by one.
One by one for the first group
box.
first.
Let's
Policy through box.
let's see the artist got out of it. All these keywords. What's pop out?
While waiting for the mind map, you can ask question if you got.
Or
more
if you want to
question.
comment on anything.
Oh yeah.
anyone want to add anything on the first room, the policy toolbox, the platform?
This is really beautiful.
What's pop-up? Industry need. Do we have a clear need from our room? Okay, that's what I see. What else? Productivity, continuity, technology transfer.
Maybe Dr. Kanchana, I can just jump in.
Do you
because
want to move?
I don't know whether it's
To
on
move
there
to-
or not. I just want to
I
say
cannot see.
one thing that came
More
up,
from
and
this
one thing
side.
that came up, and maybe that is also beside many other things is worth mentioning, is the showcases. This is something that was mentioned a few times also, that we need some examples. How does it work? Tangible examples of companies based in Thailand, but maybe for the first start in Germany, or examples, pilot projects, maybe together with German companies. I know of some German companies that are also sponsors of this event that want to put up projects with their partners, with their customers. So I think this is a good example and a good start also to just make it livable, to make it experienceable.
Yes, actually that's what Dr. Chiyo has mentioned in his room, that you want to have this small success, right, demonstrate. And that could be something sort of like initiate all this activity like in the sector, and then we can do like scale up.
And yeah, it's not just the demonstration for demonstration purpose, but it's the actual production line that is equipped with the Industry 4.0 technology, and to share the experience on the showcase basis. Yes, I think we can get started with the Industry 4.0 very quickly. Yes.
And actually I remember this morning Dr. Sherman has mentioned that you have many good examples, right, when it's online. So maybe some of that we can, there's a platform there that perhaps we can start looking from there. So that's one of the showcase. And also if anyone want to add something before we kind of like trying to connect the dots on actionable items, what we can do next. So any comments, or no one want to add anything? Okay, you are all tired and want to go home. Okay, all right. I guess as an organizer, we always have a wish list when we organize an event like this. It takes months of preparation, right? And I can share with you that we hope that round table number 1 would give us all the key issues on this platform, right? And we have all these tools that, the existing one and bright idea on the new tools of, moving forward. Actually, we discussed among ourselves on what exactly we're trying to achieve here, what exactly Industry 4.0 in a Thai context. And we think we agree among ourselves, let's make it a broad sense, Thailand 4.0, and what it is S-curve, and how we move forward, and perhaps use this concept of German Industry 4.0 digitalization of productivity improvement. Right? So we want to go broad in context and see what people would table to the key issue, and the other 4 rooms, would have a good initiative, actionable item, more like implementation mechanism that we would plug in to routable 1, which sort of like draw a platform, a landscape of, here are the key issue that we need to attack, and these are the tools that we have, or we have to create. I guess after hearing all the 5 rooms, I think the key issue that is really clear to us since the morning is the workforce, the manpower, right? And we emphasize a lot that we want to do demand-driven activity, a clear demand, right? I think this is what I hear. If anyone want to argue, this is what we really need, right? On, not just upskill or retrain our workforce, but also the new stream that coming into the system, right? You even mentioned that even early childhood, and I think German, it's have a good models of it's practical, skill training. You want to add something on workforce?
For the presentation that someone
workforce or
draw a very good picture. In our group, digitalization for non-manufacturing, maybe we can use the term smart city.
Smart city.
Smart city is composed of many dimensions like smart education, smart living, smart health, smart government, for example. That's the maybe to be the keyword. And for the smart health, maybe as I described earlier.
That's actually the workforce, right? Cross-cutting, and you just lead to next point that this smart city concept. I'm looking for a platform that's actually the digital economy and society ministry has initiating many good platforms on smart city, and I think this could be plugged in particular this health, right, and also education. So okay, that's good. So we hear these keywords on human resource development, workforce 4.0, training, a number of lists of potential cooperation from Roundtable 5, and cut across on the sector-based issue, right? It's quite clear from Dr. Pansak has mentioned on the smart city concept, and maybe touch on the health issue, mobility issues, margin, and also this morning agriculture. A lot of room for productivity improvement and new business opportunities from digital technology or digitalization. So that's also like another sort of like a sector base in addition to this cross-cutting of human resource development. So I think that's something that we can start with. And from Kun Chayo, this success case on some of, maybe if you want to pick some sector that, and someone willing to share. I've heard from during the coffee break that they want to join this if we have some kind of fund to subsidize some of this Industry 4.0 upgrade. They ask what they have to give back in return. I say, perhaps you could share your result, like, what we have in the poster. Some people is hesitant, but anyway, Martin, you want to have something?
Just a perspective on technology, and we had this discussion whether it's revolution or evolution. I think it's revolution in the sense that things are happening very fast, but that can be a little bit intimidating as a term. So depending on the context, maybe evolution is better. And I liked in my panel or roundtable this afternoon, the word appropriate technology was used. We don't always need to move into technology or solutions that are 4.0 that might fail. In some areas, in some regions, in some sectors, we also maybe need to actually focus on, when you talk about smart cities, I think it's almost like smart societies. Undoubtedly, Thai people are very smart. We have a lot of smart people in this room. But how can we work more together to be a smart society than if we are smart, aware, and so we know how to use the technology to move there. So where are these areas? What are the steps that we can do now to start on the evolutionary process? Because in Germany too, it's a big task to move into Industry 4.0. But we pick the right areas, focus on the people, the society, and the right steps to get there. Then it doesn't always have to be a huge jump, but we need to move forward now on the steps. But the smart society, I think, is even a broader term, that we all need to engage in this, in becoming collectively more smarter and aware. It's just something, when you mentioned smart cities, I was thinking immediately smart society, that the city brings together the whole society.
May I add a little bit? So when we are talking about Industry 4.0, yes, it's different from countries to countries. In Thailand, in Germany, for example, when you're talking about Industry 4.0, you are moving up from 3.5 or perhaps 3, right? But in Thailand, maybe we are trying to move up from 2.0, 2.5, and then approaching 3. So the difference in the implementation, the time frame requirement, the effort that we have to put forward for these initiatives is obviously different. So we should start with a bite-sized kind of involvement, get things started, and scale it up in Thailand in particular. And therefore, the showcase operation is very, very necessary. Yes.
Yeah, actually, we discussed this in our room, that there are different needs. In particular, when you talk about SME, even SME itself, there are different kinds of SME. There's no one-size-fits-all kind of, solution. I think similar thing when we talk about 4.0, doesn't mean that everybody go 4.0, right? It's step by step, and perhaps we have to decide to fit the needs. And I think keywords, it's this, we can't force evolution, right? It has to be the demand from within, but sometimes you have to stimulate demand, yes, and I think a showcase, some kind of motivation, that would be a good starting point. You want to add something?
Hello. Oh, okay. Yes. I think for my viewpoint, of every problem that I listen from every room is the human resources. I mean the education. We need some time, a bit long time, to solve the problem, because it's quite fundamental problem. But one thing that we can do right now to make Industry 4.0 is, I think, cooperation between three parties should be the first thing that we can do quicker than we try to solve the long-term problem, which is we should make a cooperation in any aspect by the government sector and by private sector and also by academic sector. I think this is quite normal, but we should start to do it right now and go on to go to Industry 4.0 step by step, I think, in my idea.
That's good. Actually, I mentioned it's quite clear on workforce, right? And the minister has give us blessing that we should have this, if I remember it correctly, it's like Thailand, German platform 4.0 partnership or something like that, right? And we can propose this workforce 4.0, right? And we'll define what we mean by workforce 4.0. And I think if I remember correctly, the platform, Dr. Shermet has mentioned as one working group on training and skill development, right? That could be something that we could start with, platform to platform. Also, we talk about this small success showcase. That could also, plug in. I believe the ITC center. That
yes, ITC center.
We're going to start very soon, right?
By this June, right?
Yes. So basically, that could be a platform from our side that yes, we could link this up, and we find a way to fund this, activity. We want real action, right? And for smart cities, we have the vice minister here, so I think we have the ingredients there, all the jigsaws there. We just have to come up with a formula to make it happen. So follow up on this, on health and smart and agriculture, right, and on smart cities. And Martin has raised a good point on there's no point to go high value-added food if it is not safe, right? And I think the Foodinopolis program, I see it as a platform on a Thai side that we can utilize it to do something with Germany. I'm pretty sure you have a lot of things on bioeconomy, right? So that could be another thing that we could explore. Anything else on the toolbox? I think the keyword is communications, right? And the government probably have to ask the right question. We'll keep trying, We want to hear demand from you. We want to see clear demand, but it feels like we never get the answer that we want, but we'll keep asking until we get the answer that we want. And also, regional. We might have to, go out and, use Actually, we have regional science park. We should do a similar thing to get demands from the region. And enabling factor, what else? I'm just going through my notes. Practical engineers, I think it's very interesting. Germany has many good engineering programs. This Fachhochschule, all those we should explore. I think you touch a bit, right, on engineering, and also in your room that also you don't touch upon. We could continue the discussion more for this Workforce 4.0 program. Anything else? On standards, standards seem to be a big issue in the international forum, but it didn't quite come up a lot in our discussion. Maybe we need more time.
The Industry 4.0 platform actually is quite close to the standard development for interfaces between sensors in manufacturing. So if you want to look at information on what, how machines communicate and so what standards are being developed, you will also find that on the Industry 4.0 platform website. That's right. And we, over the weekend, we have this wanna cry. You get this message, the wanna cry thing. That's a virus, so that's how to deal with that. It's a big issue, right? I think on medical device, that could be a part of the medical program that we'll look at. That's pretty much I have. I think we have all the elements, right? And we'll, STI and OIE will take this, put everything together, and we'll share the final report. But at the end of today, we'll put up this infographic, so you can take home and share it with your colleagues at the office, and maybe think about it and send us feedback. Anything you would like to add before we?
For OIE, we will take this as a recommendation for the policy, and we put it further to the National Industrial Committee Board to accomplish it and to let the executive make decision which one we should go further and have.
Yes, for STI, I think I can share this. We are in the process of developing research and innovation strategy to present to the. We have this council of research and innovation councils chaired by the Prime Minister, and Industry 4.0 is one of the key issues that we would like to have some roadmaps on how do we deal with this, and also the technology platform for this, since we touch on sectors. So that's another key issue the Minister has mentioned. What is the core tech to support S-curve industry development? So that's another thing. So all the inputs that we get today, we'll take it, and it will be the input for the strategy development. So anyone want to add anything before I think I would like to take this opportunity to invite Ambassador Peter Prugel to give final words to the audience, please. Yes, please, over here.
Okay, I'll do it from here. Don't worry, I will be very short. I won't wrap up the session anyway. It would be too difficult, but I think this session showed, this wrap-up session showed, at least to my perception, that
maybe they want you to come up here to the stage. Yes.
I will stand. That is fine. So I think this wrap-up session showed that we probably have found the right approach. I think there was a lot of substance, a lot of content, especially in these breakout sessions, a lot of food for thought, and a lot of ideas that can be and hopefully will be followed up. I see my task here now mainly in concluding by, above all, thanking all those who have first of all participated in bringing about this conference. I would like especially to thank our partners from the Ministry of Industry, from the Ministry of Science and Technology, in particular OIE and SDI, from the Federation of Thai Industry, of course. I would like to thank all our moderators, I think in particular Martin Menske-Stalling, who have had the biggest part throughout the day. But please allow me also to say a very big thank you to Christine Falk-Grosser. I think she well, obviously you know what I wanted to say. So she actually is the originator, the driving force. She brought up the idea for this conference quite some time ago, and she was driving it through together with the partners, and I think she did a fantastic job. I will not forget, of course, with her team from the economic section of the embassy, including our Master of Ceremony and all the other staff from the embassy that was less visible today, but who have, of course, been very active and have been working almost day and night throughout these last months to make this possible. So please, a big thank you to all who have contributed. Then, of course, a big thank you to all our participants who have engaged so actively in all those discussion sessions. I know this was not just a panel where one can sit back and have a nap. This was work throughout the day, so I understand that you are quite tired. Thank you once again, especially for those who have come the long way, either from other parts outside Bangkok or from Germany. A safe trip home, and please don't hesitate to come back. Then finally, just to let you know, that's why I took this on with me. The website of this conference will continue to be online for quite some time. So please use this website when you think about the follow-up to this conference, to connect with other people. You will find on this website not only the documents, but all these nice paintings that give, I think, a nice idea of all what has been discussed, but also an idea of the complexity of the way to Industry 4.0. There will be any final report or whatever, any document, we will put it in there. You have this to connect to the website. You have the barcode on here, and on the website you find everything. And I think we will perhaps also try, if we not have it yet, to put a link to the platform Industry 4.0 directly on that website, so then you have the link to whatever you would like to get information from what the platform in Germany is doing. Thank you very much, and have a safe trip home.
Thank you.
Thai ที่พูดชื่อเดี๋ยวเขาจะโทรเรียกเพื่อถ่าย